G'day guys. So I've purchased Stephen Slate's virtual mix rack, and I've also got his virtual channel collection. And with the most recent update, it's allowed implementation through the virtual mix rack for the VCC. So I can simply load up the virtual channel and have that on every track, and then control that through the virtual mix bus if they're on the group, and do it through the virtual mix rack rather than standalone, which I think is great. So what I want to do is I want to be able to create this plugin chain on every channel in my session, and I want to do it a lot quicker than what is previously available, which is loading up the plugin, and then clicking and dragging the VCC into the channel, selecting the group, and then having a play around if you need to. So what I want to do, as default now, it loads up blank. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the default preset setting here to actually save my own default, which will have some plugins already sort of laid across. Just makes it a bit easier. So first up, I'll have the virtual channel, and I'm going to select group 1. This is going to make it a lot easier to group my all of my channels through the master fader later on. Then what I might do just for each individual channel is put an EQ and a compressor. Just, I don't know, I may use them, I might change them around, but may as well load them up. That way I don't have to load them up later if I use them. So what I'll do now is I'll go up the top here, top right hand corner, and click on the little arrow, and go down to default preset, and we want to click on save as default preset. So I do that, and I want to say yes. So I want to overwrite the current default and make this the default. So now that's saved. First of all, I'll just disengage that, and I'll show you my track that I'm working on. So it's more of a disco track. It's got this like effect sort of soundscape build up. I'll just skip forward a bit. So that's the track anyway. So what I want to do is I want to load up the virtual mix rack on all of these channels here. So these are all the tracks that have got audio on them now, be it through MIDI or actual audio tracks. Actually, I don't have any audio tracks on here. So it's all through MIDI. So if I go over to the mix console, I can look. I've got these tracks here. Just squish that down a bit. So now I can go through and load up virtual mix rack on each track. But that's going to take too much time for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually select my tracks, and then I'm going to go up to here and I'm going to link them. And then in the link menu, I'm going to go down and I'm going to click on insert. So I'm going to enable inserts to be a part of the link. So I've already done it here. So just make sure that that's selected, and I go OK. So as you can see, it creates a link group. So now if I load up virtual mix rack, it will load that up on every channel that I have selected, and it will load up that preset. Takes a little bit of time just because there's multiple channels. So there you go, we've got all of our channels loaded up as a new default that we just created. There it is there. So now if I go all the way to the right to my main output and load up virtual, virtual mix rack, and then just replace this with the mix bus, go to group 1, you can see now, if I just open up one of these, you can see I've got control over my grouped tracks as well. So it just allows me to quickly load up the presets and dive straight into mixing rather than worry about setting up the plugins. Just makes it that bit quicker. So yeah, let's have a little bit of a play around with that and see what we can do with it, how we can make it sound. As you can tell, it's very dirty. So within my selected groups, I can also bypass. So just by clicking bypass on one, it bypasses all of the other on this within the group. And if I have the link off, what I can do with my selected channels, if I hold down Shift Option, that allows me to quick link, and I can quick link those same functions as well. So just press bypass and it bypasses all of them. Just gives me a quick A/B comparison of what I've done. So yeah, that's just a quicker way, the quickest way that I've found to load up Virtual Mix Rack inside Cubase, and to fully implement the new feature of having the virtual channel within that. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope this was a valuable little tutorial, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.